Okay, so I want to take a minute and offer maybe a little bit different explanation, hopefully to clarify how we got the values for our graph y equals log base 2 of x. Okay. Now what I've done is I've put up the coordinates, and if you look, remember earlier in the module we graphed y equals 2 to the x power. Okay, and I picked the values of x, and then when I inputted it for 2 to the x power, these were our y coordinates. Okay. Now we're going to notice something from the 2 to the x graph that'll help us in our log base 2 graph here. Okay, so remember our goal here is to graph y equals log base 2 of x. Okay, and by the way, I'm using a y instead of the f of x notation. You're going to see why in a minute. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to use kind of the definition. I want to deconstruct the log into its exponential form. Okay, and if you remember how this goes, the base was 2. All right. The number on the other side of the equal sign, that's your exponent, so it's 2 to the y equals, and then that's going to equal whatever x is. Okay. Well, if you notice something here, okay, we graphed y equals 2 to the x, and it looks like when we deconstruct the log into its exponential form, it's the same thing, except if you notice, the x and the y is switched positions. Okay, so it's the same function in a way, same equation, just with x and y switched. What this should tell you is that when we go ahead and graph our log graph here, we're just going to switch the x and y coordinates from what we had before. Okay, which means if you look at our first ordered pair, -3, 1/8, well, in our log, we're just going to switch those around. Okay, so that means when the x coordinate is 1/8, the y coordinate must be -3. Okay? As a matter of fact, if you want to kind of see that, well, I'll just do it for this one. Y is going to equal log base 2, all right, of 1/8. All right. Now what this means when I reconstruct this into its exponential form, 2 to the y. Okay, you got the base 2. The exponent's going to be y equals 1/8. Well, 2 to what power gives you 1/8? That power should be -3. So 2 to the -3rd power gives you 1/8. So let's just kind of further confirm that. Okay? So that should hopefully show you that really all we need to do is just take the graph of y equals 2 to the x and just switch the x and y coordinates. So that means for your next order pair, we're going to make x 1/4. That makes y -2. Then we're going to have 1/2, -1. Then we're going to have 1, 0. Then we have 2, 1, then 4, 2, and then finally, our last ordered pair, we're going to make the x coordinate 8, and make the y coordinate 3. Okay? So hopefully that might clear it up a little bit and show you how we get the log graph. And we use the exponential form to get that log graph.